Alright, so we are going to go through how to take your introduction email and set up your new Gmail account, and then also set up Google Drive, what that looks like and what that means. So to start, your new email is going to end with @maurerdistrict.org, as opposed to what it started with, what it currently is. Once we get the entire conversion done, your old emails are going to forward into this new email address that you have, and if they send to either email address, it'll still come into your account, so you're not going to lose any emails along the way. By the time we're done, you will need to take any old emails from the old system, download them, and upload them into the new system if you want to retain them. In this video, we're not going to go through that part, but we're going to go everything up to that part, and if we need to download and upload, I will help people on an individual basis with that. So to start, we're going to work with Jeannie's email here. This is the original email that you will get in your current email box that we forwarded to this computer for this video, so you can see what it looks like and how to walk through it. To start, you can verify your name and that your name is correct. If it's not correct, let me know, and we should change that before you even get started. If everything looks fine, go ahead and click on the link that says you can set your password and sign in by clicking on the link. So we're going to do that now. It's no longer valid. Alright, so we're going to send a new email and we'll be right back. Alright, so if you have this email, then it's not going to work because we waited too long since I set the first one, and we have to send a new one. So if your email isn't working, let Jeannie or myself know, and we will get you a new one sent out. Alright, so here we go. We got the old one here. Looks like this. This link no longer works because we waited too long to use it. And the new link that I send you will just be a password reset. So you'll open that email and hit reset password. So this can be a cell phone number. In this case, we'll use mine. Actually, do you have one, Jeannie, that we can use? And it's just an extra security. So Jeannie's going to receive a text message right now, and that message is going to have a code in that she needs to type in. This will verify that you are who you say you are and are allowed to change your account. Alright, so this is the user agreement. Feel free to read through that. I've already read through it, so we're just going to go ahead and hit accept. And you create a password. So, Jeannie, please create your first password. Don't hit the little I, otherwise the whole world might know what your password is. There we go. Now, right now, the default browser on this computer is Edge. So we're not going to use Edge. We're going to use Chrome. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. We've used our email, so I'm going to get rid of that. We don't need any of those anymore. And we're going to start fresh now that we've reset our password with Google Chrome. I use Google Chrome because it's made by Google, and the whole email setup is made by Google, so you're going to get the best results using your Gmail through Chrome. So we're going to go ahead and go to google.com, which is where I've started. In the top right corner, it has your settings to sign in, as well as go straight to Gmail, and these 9 little boxes. These 9 boxes will show you all of the different Google apps that are available and more. So from Google Keep, my cell phone has this app on it, and I can make notes and stuff like that. Google Hangouts, all of that is all included, built right into Google. So before we click on those, we're going to go ahead and sign in. So Jeannie, if you would click sign in and go ahead and type in your new email address. So, okay, in this case, I had already signed in, so we're going to say, we're going to click the little drop down where it says ntvs@maurerdistrict.org, and you have to change it to a new one. Do you see what I'm talking about? Right in the middle.
Say that again, will you please?
Right in the middle where it says NTVS at Mauer District, we got to change that to add a new user in this case, because a different Gmail account was already signed in. That was me in this case. So we're going to use another account. And your browser can have as many different accounts on it as is needed. So you could have 10 people using the same computer and quickly flip between all their different accounts. This is also good to know. Your email addresses have changed to just your first name at mauerdistrict.org. So it is not the same as the old ones. For simplicity's sake, we're just changing everything up to keep everything uniform. Now, if this is your computer and you're the only one signing in, you can save your password right into your Chrome browser. You don't have to. If you don't have to hit never either. If you think you might do it in the future, just click anywhere else on the screen and it will go away. Otherwise, click save and it'll save it for you. Now, this is one of the features that's kind of neat. Google has the ability to back up and save your passwords across multiple devices. And that's what the sync does. So you have your Google account, which gets you into Gmail. But if you use your sync on the browser, and you have multiple computers that you use your Google accounts on, and you sync across them, your passwords will go from computer to computer to computer without you having to remember them. It'll also work on your cell phone. So if you use your Google account to use the backup and restore services on your cell phone, all of those passwords will carry over to your cell phone as well. I recommend it. I love it. It's an amazing feature. To use it, go ahead and hit Turn on Sync. So we want to hit Link Data, which means it will link all data to this account. Now, you see two J's on the top right here. This one, this is another verifying that you're turning it on. The first one here is on the web browser of Google. It's on the Google portion of the web browser. So we're on google.com. If we go to a different site like yahoo.com, the lower J goes away because we're on a different website, but the upper J here stays. This is the sync part right here. And it tells you you can store passwords, payment options, addresses, different things like that. And as long as that's syncing, it'll all be saved to your account no matter which site you go to. But if you go specifically to Google, then this is where you get access to all of those other features, the apps, the programs, Google Drive, all that stuff, by clicking on the squares here. You can click on your icon and you can see all of the different users that are available to be signed in. If there was 10 of them, there'd be a list of 10 here. And you can tell that mine is signed out and yours is the only one signed in. So if I clicked here, it would let me sign in as this user and swap it over for me. Or I could add a new account. So multiple people can use the same computer without messing up your sync. The moment you sign in as a new user, your sync option up here is going to sign itself out. So if you ever see this as needing to be signed in, go ahead and do that if you're on your account, because that just needs to reconnect to keep that sync active. And it's going to disconnect if anybody else is using the computer so that you are still secure and safe. So in these squares right here, this is where you access all of your extra programs. For now, I'm not going to overwhelm you by telling you what every single one of them does, but I will show you a few of them. Your account information is here. So if I click on that, it's going to change the screen, take you straight to your account. And it has your personal info, as well as like if you buy apps or anything like that, it's all stored in here under your account. You can go to Gmail, which takes you straight to your email account, which we just set up and changed the password for. And that initial entrance in here is going to ask you a few questions and kind of walk you through. This is what it looks like. Now we can tie Gmail to Outlook or any other email program we want, but the web interface itself is really good. It looks a lot like Outlook does and gives you a lot of the same options. So let's walk through this together. It's going to ask you first, how do you want your emails to look? to start. The squares on the left let you check the box for each individual email if you wanted to move them or delete them or anything like that in bulk. The stars are like priority ones. I need to mark this as, hold on, I'm sorry. I need to mark this as important. And so I want to come back to it later so you can look at all your starred emails. Then the email itself will display the subject line as well as the first line of the email. And if there's any attachments on it, that's the default view. If we flip it to comfortable, it just gives you a much more streamlined, this is what it's about, and the attachments are hidden. And then the compact view makes it even smaller, so you can view more emails at once. So you as an individual get to choose how you want that to look, how much information you want displayed initially. And this is completely changeable later on. So do you have a preference, Jeannie?
The default's fine.
All right, we're going to click OK. And you can see the starting emails will walk you through a few things. So go through these emails, tips for using your new inbox, and other options. We're not going to look at these because those are Jeannie's emails. But any starred emails, let's try one here, will show up in the starred section. These are more like filters. So anything in the starred section doesn't stop being in the regular inbox. It's just tagged with that label. So as you go on and create folders, folders are technically labels just like the star. They won't make the email stop appearing here in the inbox. It'll just also make it appear in that label. I'm going to go down here and go manage labels or create new label. So for example, please enter a new label. N2V Solutions. That's us, right? And we can have labels under labels just like folders. So essentially your labels are going to act like folders. And if I create that label N2V Solutions, and then I come over here and I tag this email from Lucas, and I want to, here's my labels, and I want to label it N2V Solutions and apply that label to it. Now it's tagged N2V Solutions. So you can come down here and find that it looks just like a folder would look in Outlook. And I can see all of the emails from N2V Solutions. But again, that doesn't stop the email from appearing in the inbox, which is different than Outlook. Outlook would actually move the email. It would no longer be in your inbox. It would actually be in this folder. The way Google does it, it just tags it for you so that you can look at all your tags in a quick, easy manner. So if I searched, like if I had thousands of emails, I can come to the top here and I can search N2VS or N2V, and it will search for anything that has N2V in it. Now in my case, that didn't want to pop up because it's my name. So if I did Lucas, it would find the Lucas email. If I had searched the email address at N2VS, it would find that email because my email address is at N2V Solutions. So there's lots of different ways to search in here to find the same email. Like check out our video. So if I said check out, it would also find that because it's searching the email itself. So you can search multiple ways in the inbox to find what you're looking for. Okay, so that's just a quick look at that. I'm going to go ahead and remove that label. And if I decide I no longer want to have that label, I go into Manage Labels in the same category over here. And I should be able to see all the labels that I've created. This one, I'm going to remove it. So it's simple to create them. It's simple to delete them. In the end, if you just want to use your inbox, that's all you need to use. Now, Google Hangouts is another thing that you can use. Now, you'll notice the squares don't disappear even when I'm in my Gmail. And I can see that list of everything. Google Hangouts is another thing that we can use. and it's a messaging service between anybody that has a Google or a Gmail account. It doesn't even have to be a Mauer District one. It can be anyone. And so you walk through the little starting here. It'll walk you through how to do it, that it can make video calls. You can have a call in groups of up to 10 people. Because it's Google Hangouts and in the Google Sync that we talked about earlier, syncs across multiple devices, so does your Google Hangouts. So it'll pop up on your phone, and it'll pop up on computer 1, and it'll pop up on computer 2, and so on and so forth. Each conversation, you just type in that email address. So in my case, Lucas.Stutzman, if I can spell my own name, mtvsolutions.com, and there I am, people outside. So because we use Gmail as well, we are built right into this account. So you could message me through my email address in Google Hangouts and say help. And it would send me that message, to which I can go to my phone or my computer and respond right back from wherever device I'm on. And you'll get that immediate answer. Now, to back it up, if I go back to my Gmail tab over here, you'll see down here, this just added in. This keeps you up to date with your emails and your Hangouts, and on the bottom here you can flip between Hangout contacts, conversations, phone calls. It'll pop up over here and be like, oh, I don't want to see that. But it doesn't get rid of it over here. You can always go back to it, and you'll have a whole list of everybody that you've messaged right here. Or you can just delete it and be like, nope, I don't want to talk to you. And it's gone. And that carries back over to Hangouts, which deletes it here. So it's all connected. It's all one system, but gives you multiple ways to view it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. This over here can be moved around. So if you want your contacts closer, you can drag it up to there. If you know that you're going to use Google Translate a lot, I can hit more, and it will give me a whole list of everything that I could possibly do. And we're not going to go through that now. I'm going to back this all the way out to here. But you can move those around to be in whatever order you want. Google Photo, there's Translate. So if you use Google Translate and want to tell somebody in Spanish, you know, I'm in English and I want it to be in Spanish, and you can know how to say that in Spanish, and you can do a quick copy, go right back here, paste it right into your email. Help me help you. So it's all interconnected. It makes it very, very easy to use. It auto saves, so I didn't even tell it to save that, but because I tried to start something and deleted it, it saved it as a draft so you don't lose it. It does that very quickly, so you always have a backup, somebody helping you out. On the bottom of the screen here, it will take you through a setup progress. Account's been created. You can go through the learn how to use Gmail. It will kind of give you a step-by-step tutorial of some of the stuff I've showed you and more. You can set your signature. So at the bottom of every email, it'll have your name, your address, and your phone number for them to see. You can throw a profile picture in there or anything like that. The system itself has forwarding. It has, let me just go to settings here, settings. It has all kinds of abilities, from filters, blocking addresses, forwarding to other email accounts. All of that stuff is in here. And right in the general settings, your signature is right at the bottom. So you can set that. It has, what do you call it? Holiday, like if I'm leaving and I know I'm going to be gone for a time, it will send it'll send an automatic reply back to people that send you a message saying I'm out of the office. contact me later, and all of that stuff is inside of all of these different settings. And I can help you use any of them. Just got to get a hold of me, and we can work with that. So, Gmail. Once you're in, it should start working immediately. You don't have to set up anything else. You just got to start using it. It ties into your calendar, Google Calendar. It ties into your contacts. It ties in all of that stuff. So you can share calendar events, and you can share all kinds of things with each other. The biggest thing that it ties into that you guys are going to use is probably Google Drive, which is also right here. Google Drive can be accessed from the web, and you'll see that it opens in a new tab, so it doesn't kill your emails if you're in your emails, and takes you to Google Drive separately. Think of Google Drive like a folder on your computer that you can share information with each other. So if you save something in it, the other person can see it too, if you've created that folder with them. In your case, we're going to create a folder for the whole company that is a shared folder that everybody can access. But you can create folders that are specific to just 2 of you or 3 of you, anybody that you want. And I'm going to walk you through how to do that a little bit right here today. So by default, you have 30 gigabytes of storage for your documents, videos, and everything else. This actually includes your emails too. So anything you do in Google consumes some of that storage. If you do end up filling that up and need more storage, then Google will allow us to increase that for like a small amount of money. It can go to like a terabyte of storage. It's not incredibly expensive, and the first 30 gigabytes is free. So everybody has 30 gig and can use that. Keep all your files safe and accessible, so it backs everything up that you use. It does not save the data on your computer. It saves it in the cloud. And whenever you want to use it, it brings it to your computer and opens it up. And then when you close it out, it saves it back to the cloud again. If you happen to not be online after you close it, it will hold it in memory. And the next time you connect to the internet, we'll connect it to the cloud and sync it back up. So you can drag and drop inside the web portal as well as on your desktop. And we'll go through that this morning as well. So let's learn more about it. To start, you have a couple of tabs over here. It kind of looks like the Gmail does, so the interface is going to be similar. You can open this PDF and it'll kind of walk you through how to get started, or you can just review this video. To start, we're going to create a folder. So I'm going to go New, and I have all of these options. You can upload a file, you can upload a folder, you can work with Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides. So for those that are unfamiliar with Docs, Sheets, and Slides, this is Google's version of Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And they're completely free, so you don't have to pay for the software, and they work pretty good. So all my kids use them now. A lot of schools use it all the time for assignments, because they can share assignments with each other. They can actually take 2 people and work on the same project at the same time from across the world and still actively update the file together. So there's a lot of neat things you can do with it. In this case, we're going to make a folder, and we're going to call it Our District. And this folder, by default, is only yours. So I'm going to show you, how do I want to do this? Okay. So we're gonna do a couple of things here. All right. So to start, if you save anything in this folder, it's yours and yours alone. If you ever want to get back to this, I'm going to kick us out of here. If you ever close out your browser and need to get back to it, you open your Chrome, and it will be logged in by default unless somebody's changed it. And you simply go to Drive. and we're back in Drive, and the folder will always be there, our district. If I'll show you this. If I decide I want to sign in as me, it will allow me to do so. And you can see that I have a Drive as well. We're not going to say that, and it takes me through the same startup stuff. And you can see that I don't have that folder here. And that's the biggest thing I wanted to show you. That folder that I created for Jeannie is Jeannie's only. If I go to shared with me, there's nothing there as well. Now, I'm signed in as both people right now, and that's okay. I've got Jeannie signed into one tab, and I've got me signed into the other tab. If I close it all out and open it up again, whoever is the primary contact is the one that retains control, so to speak. Jeannie's still signed in. Ooh, looks like I am too. Oh, it's going to let me do both. Amazing. That's new. All right. The reason I showed you that is to show you how to share something between two people. So I'm going to log back into both of them and Google Drive. And this is going to be how you guys are going to share documents with each other. So once you create a folder or a folder in a folder or anything like that, you right click on it and you say, I want to share this folder. And there's lots of ways you can get a shareable link, so you can send the link to somebody, and then anybody you send that link to will have access. You can do all the moving, anything you want in here, but what we want to do is share. And in this case, I'm going to share it with N2VS malwaredistrict.org. And I get to decide, can they only see it, or can they do whatever they want to it? In this case, I'm going to let him do whatever he wants to it. Once all of you have signed in and set up your accounts, we'll share this folder with everyone. So I just shared that with the N2V account. So if I go back into share, it should show that it's already shared with N2V Solutions, but not with anybody else. Okay. Now if I go to the N2VS, so you share it with somebody, they should get that information that it was just shared. So I'm going to open my email, and I go, oh, look at this. I got an email. Oh, neat. Jeannie has invited me to contribute to the following shared folder. So I can see that I have had a folder shared with me, and if I click open on here, it's going to take me to Google Drive. I don't have to click the link to get to Google Drive. I can just simply go to my own Google Drive and find it. Now, do you see anything here, Jeannie?
I do not.
You do not. And that's the important thing I want to show you here. Once somebody shares something with you, you have the ability to accept that share. You don't have to. So if you start getting crazy people trying to share weird things with you, you don't have to accept them. You go to the next tab, which says shared with me. Until you accept the share, it will not become official. Refresh. There we go. So I refresh my screen, and there it is. Today, somebody shared this folder with me. So I'm going to right-click it. Or how do I accept that share? I want to add, oh, there we go. That's right. You right-click it, and you add to My Drive. So this is how you accept it and make it show up in your Google Drive as well. As soon as you add it to My Drive, you can go back to your regular drive, and it will be available there just like a folder you created. So that's the only thing you have to do when somebody shares something with you. Once you've done that, it's done, and you can use it all the time. but you have to accept the share by adding it to your drive for it to show up for you. So right now I'm logged in as N2V. So if I go into there and I create something like new document, test, there we go. Now, there is no save button. You'll notice this right away. There is no save, there's no, it's like, okay, how do I save this document? That's the beautiful thing about Google. The moment you create it, it automatically starts saving it. And right here it tells you all changes saved in Drive. Automatically. If you hover over it, it explains it. Last edit was seconds ago. And at first you're like, I didn't hit save, but should I trust that? Yeah. Watch this icon right here as I start to type. Are you sure this will save? And it already says saving. Boom. It's already done. It's saved. I can close this out. I don't have to do another thing. And no, I can trust that that change has been saved. Now I can go.
Can you pull up Microsoft Word
Yes.
programs or?
Yep, you can open however you want to open them. Now, if you open them from the web portal, that's a great question, Jeannie. If you open them from the web portal, they may want to default to the Docs program, which is why we use Google Drive on the PC. I'm going to show you that next. So right now I'm back in yours, right? And I go back into yours, I'll see that there is, oh, I got to refresh because we're on the web. And it updates. And if I open that document over here, there it is. Are you sure this will save? And Jeannie says, oh, editors can now see or view history. Okay. So other people that you've shared with can see that you've accessed the file. That's all that's telling me. Yes, I am sure. And she closes that out. It's done. It's gone for her. Go back to the other drive. I could have just opened it, but I refreshed. And opened it. And it saves across the platform, across the shared drive. So yes, I understand. She can see what I've changed. All right. So up at the top here, this is kind of neat. See changes since you last viewed the document. Full history. I can see this was changed by you since the last time I did anything. Isn't that kind of neat?
That's really cool.
So you can see who did what. And so when you have 2 or 3, like for my kids who use it a lot, you get 2 or 3 people working on the same project and you can see the history of who did what. So now that you understand how to create a shared folder and share it with somebody else, I'm going to go ahead and delete that folder. And we will create a drive, a folder for everybody to see that Jeannie will share as far as who needs to know what's named what and who gets what. And if everybody gets access, great. If you want just 2 or 3, maybe you have a special project that only, for only certain people's eyes, you can make a folder for that and just share it with those specific people. So, and you can do that as many times as you want. You can have as many shared folders as you want. So once all of this is set up and you've got your shared folders and you've added it to your drives and everybody's good, you will be able to see all of this in the application that we install on the computer. And I'm going to show you how to do that now. So you start by logging into your Google Drive, just like we've done here. And we're going to click this sprocket right here. And it will tell you, get drive file stream for Windows. The program, Google Drive, is called Drive File Stream when you install it on Windows. So we're going to click Get Drive File Stream for Windows. Now it warns us if if you use work or school files on your computer with Drive FileStream, the original Google Drive application needs to be uninstalled before you download and install Drive FileStream. So for you guys, that's not important or relevant. You can ignore it. You just simply hit the drop down and hit this for if you have a Windows machine, hit this if you have a Mac. It's going to download the installer, and you just click on it. Now this is all if you're in Chrome. If you're not in Chrome, you'll have to follow the download instructions for whatever browser you're in. Now if you're trying to set this up and you're still on the domain with your current system, you'll need to have admin access to be able to install this stuff. If you're doing this after that's been done, then you should have it already, and or we'll give you a way to do that and proceed from there. So. Doesn't take too long to download unless your internet's bad. Ours is pretty good here, so that's nice. There we go. Now, Google Drive will use the exact same credentials as your Gmail, as your Google account, as your sync. It's all the same setting. It's the same username, it's the same password, all connected. Once you start downloading, you can actually close out the whole browser if you want. And it's going to install the program, and it's going to show up in one of these things down here in the bottom right. There it is. Drive FileStream. Normally it'll be in this little up arrow, and it'll show up, yep, right there like that. And you sign in with your email address. You have to sign in the first time. Jeannie, if you want to type in your new email. And then it'll ask for the password again. Now, because this doesn't, go ahead and hit next. Because this doesn't save the actual files on your computer unless you tell it to, you can flip between each other's Google Drives at will in the same way you'd flip between Gmail accounts. But we'll go over that later. All right. Stream Google Drive files right to your computer. Save disk space by only downloading the files you need. Mark items available offline to edit them without internet. There we go. Open Google Drive folder. So on your computer, it looks just like a folder. And you click on My Drive, and if I wouldn't have deleted that folder, it would have showed that folder here. But I wanted to do this to show you that right on your computer, you can create a folder. This time we're going to call it Sewer Water SWC. And it looks just like a normal folder, doesn't it? Doesn't look any different than anything else on your computer. Now, I'm going to close this out just to show you how to get to it if you're starting from scratch. There's a couple of ways. You can go here where your Google Drive is, and you can right-click it, and there's a little folder icon here. You can always open it from here if you want. This is and it shows you who you're logged in as, and this is where you get the options to log out or to close it. This will also give you a log of everything recent. For example, I just made this folder, and it just confirmed that it synced it. So it's up to date. Everything is up to date. If I open my folder on my computer, like I would normally access my documents or anything else like that, I can see you have Dropbox on here too. Same type of thing. Except I'm going to scroll down here. And there's a drive under this PC called Google Drive File Stream. It gives it a letter and everything, so it can be used just like any other drive, like it was a USB drive or something like that. If I click on this PC, it shows up with all the other drives. The backup drive, but it's H, and it's got 30 gig because we got 30 gig free, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I open it, there's my drive. And there's the folder I just created. And just like on the web, I can share this with Google Drive if I right-click it. And it's going to give me a similar window. If I can type, there we go, into VS. And I'm going to share that with me. And that will send it out. Now, on my computer, I'll have a folder like this as well. But to get that into my folder, to get it to show up in my Google Drive, actually I'm going to back that up. Let's see if I can show you this as well. No, we're just going to leave that one. To get that to show up in my drive, just like before, I have to accept it. So I'm going to flip over to my N2V one, go into my Google Drive. Again, I don't have anything here. Is that gone now? It was in the... No, it saved the file. Where did it save it then? Oh, because we shared it earlier. Interesting. Get rid of that. We don't need that. So we're going to go to the Shared With Me folder. And we got this new drive, malware SWCD, that you created on your computer. And you saved it from your computer. You didn't do it in the web portal. You did it on your computer. And that's what I really wanted to show you, that you can do it either way. And it's all the same thing. I add it to my drive. And then it's available for me to use in any way I want. And on my computer, I will find that in my folder like this. I will find it in my folder like this once I add it to my drive. If I don't add it to my drive, it will not show up in my folder on my computer. Okay? So there's that folder. Now we can leave that one there or delete it. It doesn't matter. Whenever you want to create, you can create. It's completely up to you. If I, as N2V, remove that folder, it does not delete the folder from you because you are the creator of it. It just removes it from my computer because you still own it. It's still here. Until you, as the owner, delete it, it doesn't get deleted.
Nice.
All right. So, any questions so far?
Not yet.
All right. So if I come here, our SWC was moved to trash, and everything is up to date, which means that has been synced to the web. So now, you've got Google Drive set up and working on your browser. You've got it set up and working on your PC, all tied together. I'm going to go into my guy here and just sign me out. Right? And you can see that you're paused up here after all the chaos of jumping back and forth and things like that. It was like, wait a minute, too many people are logging in, so I'm going to pause this sync because I don't want to mess it up. So just to start fresh, come into here, click on that, where it says sign in again. It's going to prompt you for your password to reconnect that sync back up. And if you're the only, go ahead and type that in. If you're the only one that uses the computer, it'll probably never ever log you out. So now the sync's active again. So again, to remind you can use any of these apps to do anything you want. Includes Google Maps. You can create a trip here and send it to your phone. You can back up your phone, your photos to your Google account, and it'll save them in your photos. This is all true for a personal Gmail account too. But it's all available to you and more, and it's continuing to grow. So if you want to add contacts to Google, the easiest way to do it is to go into here and go to contacts, and it has a whole separate section just for contacts. We can import your contacts from another list. You can create contacts one at a time, and these contacts will show up across the board in your Gmail, in your Google Drive, in your Hangouts, and anything else that you use in your calendar. It's all tied together. When we get to the point where you want to upload your emails, we can upload them straight to the browser here, and we can do an import. I'm going to have to dig that one up. I'm not sure where that is right offhand, but it's in one of these settings, and we'll walk through all of those steps as you guys go. But the biggest thing is don't be intimidated by this. Ask questions, send me emails. If you have it set up, you can even send me a Google Hangout message by simply hitting the plus sign down here, type in my email address, which you've already got me in here, and send me an email. I will respond usually within a few minutes if you send me a Hangout. If it's an email, sometimes it'll take me a couple hours. But those Hangouts find me right on my phone right away, and I can usually send a quick reply. So if you have questions along the way, ask them. If you're confused, just ask me and I'll clarify. If I don't have an answer, I'll find it for you. So I'm a resource for you guys to use, and don't hesitate to use me. I'm here to help.
Nice.
All right. All right, I think that kind of covers our basics. If you have bigger questions, feel free to send them to Jeannie first, and she can forward them to me or Justin, and we can get an answer out to everybody if you think it's relevant to everybody. If you have a simple question, send it to me directly. That's always fine, and we'll go from there.